Welcome back to the Opal and Lilith Podcast. This is episode 3, the Charleston, that we will be reacting to. I am Kat. I played Opal.
I'm Michaela, and I played Lilith.
And this is the Opal and Lilith Podcast, and we have fun here. Sometimes too much fun.
Yeah, honestly.
So, yes, today we are reacting to another episode, because that's literally what this podcast is about. So,
If you haven't figured that out by now, I don't know where you've been.
So, roll it.
Are you going to remind them who you are every time?
Yes.
You think they've forgotten?
Well, yeah, because people would forget. They'd be like, wait, which one are you again? And I'm like, we always sit on the correct side.
Except for the one time we didn't.
Except for the one time. But in all of our photo shoots,
Yeah.
we're on the correct side. Anyway, roll tape. Handwriting.
See, I told you. Still in episode 3.
Okay, I love
The dresses.
the dresses. So the dress that Michaela's wearing, I actually, sorry, our little cat guest is going bonkers over here in the corner. Side note.
She wants to be in the room where it happens, though, so we can't
We tried kicking her out.
throw her out.
Anyway, the dress that Michaela's wearing, I actually vividly remember seeing in my mom's closet as a really little kid. And then when we started doing this, I was like, oh my gosh, we finally have a chance to use this dress for something. And it's so perfect with the feathers on the bottom, and I love it. We did actually have to pin up the shoulders.
Yes.
Because it was so, I remember when you first tried it on, it was the boobs were out. It was very low. It was very low. So
Yeah.
we pinned it. And then my dress is also from my mother's closet. And honestly, the biggest thing that we did with costuming, cut wise, because of the 20s, is I would look for something that was a shift dress or sort of an A-line dress, I think. And then we would just get it oversized or find it oversized, just lots of oversized stuff, which is why the armholes on my dress are very, very low. But it was also great.
20s stuff is pretty easy to kind of recreate because of the 80s does 20s phase. So a lot of our clothes were very much from vintage, but from the 80s.
Yeah, it was really fun to go to Goodwill and look for drop waist 80s stuff. And so there's definitely a couple 80s things that I had collected even before this that I was like, oh my god,
we can use this.
And it's actually very funny because before we started Opal and Lilith, I hated the 1920s fashion. I remember whenever I would be dressing vintagey and people would ask me questions about what eras I would I'd be the 1940s, most of the 1940s at that point, and I'm the 1800s, Little House on the Prairie, the Edwardian, Victorian eras, and then I'd be but I hate the 1920s.
And then here we are.
There was the 1920s sucked. There was just everything just bleh. And then we started doing this, and I was like, oh my gosh, the 20s fashion is actually kind of fun, and it's also fairly easy to recreate because of 80s does 20s, and just anything that you can find that's drop waist or a shift dress, it's just perfect. And I also later on did a lot of sewing projects for Opal and Lilith, which was really easy to do because it was basically just giant rectangles with armholes and a neck hole, and it was really easy to do. So honestly, Opal and Lilith gave me an appreciation for 1920s fashion that I never had before. So shout out to Opal and Lilith as characters.
We were really taking big risks with that lamp, huh?
We really were. I actually mine is whatever that dance move was. I actually want to talk about this set because we didn't talk about it when we did episode 2, and that's actually the first time that the bedroom set appears.
Oh, that's right, because we were upstairs for the other one.
Yeah. So this, if I'm remembering correctly, we had the couch cushions, and then we also had some sort of like wooden boards.
We like pushed a bunch of stuff together because that is not a bed.
Yeah, we had like wooden boards that we used to like frame out the bed somehow.
Later on, it's the real bed though. It's a mattress, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Before we get evicted.
In one of them at some point.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Or maybe after we get evicted?
I think it's after we
like
get
once
evicted.
we move into the new place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, which is the same set.
The new place is the couch though.
Right.
We never see the bedroom again.
Yeah,
we have
and
a kitchen.
I swear at one point we actually had a mattress.
I think it was when we had to recreate this for one of the episodes that didn't get finished.
Okay. Yeah. So that was just a whole bunch. It was like boxes. And...
Yeah, there were boxes. Yeah, boxes, and then like the wooden boards, and then the couch cushions on top of it, and then our like quilts. And oh look, there's
and the lamp.
Gag.
Oh yeah, running gag. Hi, running gag.
Running gag. And then I printed off some 1920s ads that I found on the internet.
Which actually really, I think it sets it off nicely. It's some good visual interest.
I love them. And it's a sketchbook. That's what I'm holding. It's a sketchbook. It's literally just a sketchbook.
We were kind of not super detailed with props at this point.
I love how we did decide to move this lamp out of the way for this segment though.
Smart.
The lamp that was very, very lit.
I'm like, ooh, let's go.
I'm clearly so excited about this. Also, I think the premise is that we're going to a dance, and I realize we need to know the Charleston, or we're going to be the laughing stock of the dance.
Which, I mean, come on, we would be anyway.
Ah, yes.
Back to the sketchbook.
Look at the sketchbook. Figure out the steps. Fall over the bed. Lose a shoe. I thought that was the coolest dance move ever. So I don't remember exactly how I found out what the Charleston was. I think I was just doing some more research on the 1920s and discovered that the Charleston was a thing in the 20s. And what's funny is that then after we filmed this episode that year for Christmas, because we would normally watch It's a Wonderful Life, it suddenly occurred to me for the first time that when Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed's character meet at the dance the school dance that they're going to, that it's set in the 1920s and they're doing the Charleston. Like it had never processed to me before, and it's funny because I loved her dress in that scene, so I just genuinely did not know what 1920s fashion really was.
Yeah.
And so I think that's funny, but then it's also funny to me that I was like, oh my gosh, they're doing the Charleston, and it just like occurred to my brain after doing all this research and learning more about it and filming it. And I did think that the little hand move was like the coolest thing on the face of the earth. So when we were filming this, I feel like I was doing that like 99% of the time.
I think you can tell that we're just not as detailed with things, as we definitely should have moved the camera over.
Yeah, we get there eventually.
Yeah.
We changed the shot eventually. I love how the mirror is just picking up random stuff in the background.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that door's open. I don't know why the door's open. just little things that we but also it cracks me up because just the fact that we weren't being like utter perfectionists is essentially what made season 1 of Opal and Lilith. Because if we had decided to be perfectionists about it, Opal and Lilith,
it wouldn't happen.
Wouldn't exist. So
that's right.
Sometimes you just have to do the thing.
Yep.
And then fix it later.
Yep. That's most things, actually.
Yeah. The dartboard in the background.
What was the point of that faces thing?
I don't know, because we don't have any. Where did our title cards go?
I don't know.
Where are our title
cards? Was it
cards?
The dance is in X amount of time or something?
That, or we were like, we have to learn how to dance with somebody? Because then that's what we do next.
Maybe. I remember us doing it, I just don't remember what we were saying.
Yeah.
Those dresses are a vibe.
Truly obsessed. See, I'm doing it again. I love how we're doing it opposite. Like,
There we go.
okay, now we're seeing more. See, it's still doing it. Wasn't this the era where you had to take off your, like, finger thing for
My
the
finger,
episode?
yes. Yeah, I had like broken my finger at volleyball and had to wear this like splint thing that was kind of weird. It was we basically just called it my extra finger because it was like flesh colored and just kind of went on there. It was
Like,
it was something.
It kind of looked like a weird like prosthetic.
Yeah,
finger,
and it was
honestly.
like quite large, so it made my finger look really large. So I had to take it off for episodes. And Kat would be like, "Did you remember to take off your finger?" I also had braces, but that I couldn't take off.
Yeah, I think I remember being like mildly annoyed about it. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, this isn't historically accurate,
I
Michaela."
was like, "Well, what do you want me to do about it?"
Okay, and 99% of this episode is just us dancing.
Well, we were having a good time.
And again with the... Hey, Opal,
I
look,
think
isn't
Opal-
the dance coming up soon?
It's not a very long episode, yet it feels quite long. The beginning of Opal and Lilith, the first 3 episodes are very much vignettes.
Yes. Okay, wait, go back a little bit. A little bit more. Here I go. We should fall over now. Pause.
Then you can tell when we land on the bed that it's not really a bed.
Yeah. The other thing, especially about the super early episodes, is that we would have a rough idea of what was going to happen. But then again, since it was a silent film, half the time when I'm speaking dialogue, it's just me directing. And I'm like, we should do this next.
And I do think I like when we have the scripts later on because that allowed like both of us to contribute ideas, because I felt like in the early episodes it just helped like my acting be better. Because in the early episodes I was a little bit like definitely following your lead, just because I was like, well, this is like, she's the one who like sets up the shot. I don't want us to have to like redo something because like I did something wrong. so I just like didn't want it to be like I did something and then you're like, well, now we have to reshoot that. And I was like, that seems like a lot of work.
The scripts were definitely fantastic, because it helps it be more of a group effort, as opposed to like a lot of episode or season 1 is also me just running around being like, hey, I have an idea, we need to do it right now. Like, that's definitely what episode 1 was. But
The first 3.
yeah. See, now it's time for the dance. Now we're late.
Fashionably late.
I love how you just ditch your hat. And then we have
I think it wouldn't like go over my hair or something.
I also
the slow-mo.
Yeah. The bowing at the ends of the episodes was a thing for like a split second.
I forgot about that too. I like my necklace. Aw, cute little niece.
And I always loved including the bloopers at the end, because I would just like cut them out and then slap them on at the end of the editing software, and then I was like, I'm just gonna leave these in because they're funny.
Ooh, I would like it to be on the record that I had a migraine during the filming of that episode.
And I made her do it anyway.
It's true. I said, can we not? And she was like,
no.
Can we though?
I was like, I'm sorry, we were on a schedule. We gotta get this done for our faithful viewers of
Our
2.
faithful 3
Us.
viewers. Yeah.
But no, I do remember that, and I remember being like, no, we absolutely have to get this done. I'm sorry. And because I had never experienced a migraine before, and now I get migraines, and
You're like, I'm so sorry.
I would have been like, no, it's okay. We'll do it later. Actually, I probably still would have been like, lie down, take some drugs. We'll see how you feel. And then we'll get it done. But yeah, no, I do remember that now. Yeah, the finger, the migraine. Because I feel like there was also a point where I like I just kept recording us dancing, and I feel like you were like, is this enough footage? Like,
Yeah.
is this
And
enough?
It was, actually.
It was plenty. Actually, it was plenty. So, shout out to the Charleston for inspiring this absolutely glorious, fast-paced episode. Anything else we'd like to add about this episode? I think we kind of hit the points.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much where it's at.
I do also remember, like, I felt like we always had a struggle finding, like, good, like, 1920s-esque shoes.
Yes.
And I don't even remember where those shoes came from, actually, because I'd never worn them before we started filming this. And I have no idea where we found them.
I actually have a story to tell about this one. It's a little bit personal, so we can figure out what. But, so the Charleston is actually kind of a hard episode for me to watch because, or it was for a while. I'm fine now. It's been 10 years. But, well, mostly fine. It's clearly still rankling in there. But, Kat and I were like we met up with somebody who shall remain nameless because I just don't need to say that. And it was a friend of her mother's, and they were like, oh, like that show you guys have is really cute. And they're like, oh, Kat, like you're amazing. Like your facial expressions are great. And then they turned to me and they're like, you need to work on your acting.
Oh my gosh.
And that was all they had to say to me. And I was like really hurt by that, actually.
That's so rude.
It was like immediately like, oh, heaping praise on Kat, which she was amazing. Like, yeah, let's give that to her. And then like, you could just lie to me.
Well, it's like you're also the other like
person.
star of the show, so like there can't just be Opal. Although I will say it is kind of funny though, because then by like season 2 you had like really taken off as Lilith, and so I kind of started like writing myself like out of episodes because I had also discovered that I kind of liked being behind the scenes more, and especially by season 3, like just all the Culpepper ones, because originally that was kind of like an Opal and Lilith joint thing,
right?
And then
we
did have the one
Lilith.
in Irwin Gardens,
right,
which was still a joint thing, but then
we wrote we wrote the end of that as Lilith, I want you to be the nanny.
Yeah, and so yeah, Opal basically gets fired, which is funny. But then yeah, I just started like writing myself like out of episodes, and then like Lilith gets like a whole like date episode, and I was behind the camera for most of it, and so it's like clearly we just, the groove wasn't there yet,
right?
But we got there because I started being like, I'll just write myself out of this one, you can have it.
And like no, that comment was direct, like it was directly in relation to the Charleston, and I was like, okay, I had a migraine that day. Like I wanted to say these things and I didn't at the time, but I was like, okay, first of all, like we're not going for any awards here at that, at that time we were just having fun. And I was like, yeah, I was still finding myself as an actress, but I was also dealing with a lot of like anxiety and having a hard time with that one. So I just remember like carrying those feelings with me about this episode for a long time.
Not
so
the
I kind of wanted to, I know.
But yeah, no, I do vaguely remember that interaction, and I do kind of remember being like,
okay, like that was uncomfortable,
rude. Thanks.
And like all you had to say was, I mean, you could have said nothing to just me, and I would have been okay.
Yeah, like it's weird that they decided to just like,
they were like, oh, clearly,
specific thing.
Clearly you need me to give you acting advice right now from somebody that I didn't even really know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there was something else I was going to tack onto this. It was important, I felt like, and now I don't remember what it is.
It's about the episode in general.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, I remember. So kind of along the lines of that, I remember I was talking to someone once, and I mentioned how I was going to go to college for film, and then they like started talking about like other stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, my friend and I, we do this thing called Opal Lilith, and this was in the like season 3 era, and they were like, oh, have you gone viral? And I was like, no, because like 1920s,
it's such a niche thing.
Film thing isn't really everyone's vibe. Like I fully, like we were putting this on the internet fully expecting like not virality. Like it would have been cool, but then we also probably would have like freaked out under the pressure and never continued. So
that's true. That's very, very true.
Thing that it didn't like take off. But yeah, I was like, no, we haven't gone viral. And she was like, well, then maybe you should consider something else. I was like,
oh my gosh, I'm like 17. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and like it's such a niche thing. It doesn't mean that you were a bad filmmaker.
Yeah.
It just means that your interests were different than a lot of people's.
Yeah.
And you were 17 and you weren't asking her for advice.
Yeah, it's just sometimes I feel like sometimes people say weird things about creative stuff, and maybe we should work on that, guys. But anyway, so yeah, the Charleston, rough episode because I made Michaela do it with a migraine and then people were mean.
But I really love the Charleston though. It's cute.
It is cute.
We're just having a vibe and good time.
I really love our costumes in that one. Like that was good costuming. Yeah. Yay us. But so thank you for coming, and thank you for coming onto the internet and watching / listening, whatever you choose to do, to this lovely little podcast, because we were just like, we have to revisit Opal and Lilith because we keep talking about like reviving it, and we were like, this is like the bridge to the Opal and Lilith revival. So thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.